Okay. All right, stream's up. Do you need the link, Tyrant? Or you already know him? What? Yeah, it's at Private Dancer on both Twitch and YouTube, or it's Private Dancer on both of them. Hold on. You got it? Let me know if you need it. I'm just trying to shuffle on where things are. That's good. That's down. Nope. Testing, testing. Okay. All right, I'll BRB. I'm gonna get something to drink. All right, let me get my thing ready then. This is just my normal community.
Yeah, you're really well known, so that makes sense.
Hey guys, what's going on? If you don't know, I am joined here by Eon. He's going to be helping out host this match and show us everything that's going on. This is very impromptu, so forgive any things. In fact, I need to get rid of that and that. Boom. Boom.
Everybody's there?
Yeah, looks like they're already 5v5. So this is the GrandFinals. Area 77 Angels taking on Night Horde Valkyries. Looks like Angels going to be starting off on the blue. It is going to be a best of 5 and a women's tournament that is hosted by the Night Horde. Tell Eon he sucks at casting.
Yo, Dean, okay. Don't do me like that. Dean.
Can you guys hear Dean? Hopefully you can. I just want to make sure. He's nice and loud so that you can hear him as well. And it looks like we're gonna go ahead and get into the casting. I'm actually quite curious as much. Oh, we probably should have turned that music on. See if we can do that next time. Eon, if we can turn off the music next time.
Oh yeah, I got you. Sorry.
We're gonna turn this down just a bit. Oh, there's still the raffle going on. Streamlabs, calm down. No, it's not. Let's, how do I turn that off? So I'm actually quite curious, Eon, if you could give me maybe a little bit of a breakdown, or if you know any specialties that these guys go, ways that they ban, things that they tend to favor on either of the teams.
From what I've seen from Night Horde, they do like the Gato pick and a lot of crowd control heroes. Not very much on the assassin players, but Suyu has been picked a lot for them. Area 77, I'm kind of new to them. I have not seen them play.
Interesting. A lot of CC is actually really probably one of the decent cores when it comes into building up a composition. Things that you kind of want to have out there. There's pretty standard bans out there as well. Joy's been a really big hot item right now. Her mobility and damage that she can do into the backline has been a huge thing. But there are still some counters out there. So it looks like we might, there's still gonna be some assassins left on the table. Still some fighters. Suyu's out there. Hayabusa's taken off the table. Alpha is still out there as well. And I just got done casting the European Snapdragon tournament earlier today, where apparently Badang is a thing for them.
Yes, but we have not seen him yet in this tournament. I don't think so.
Good, because
the most interesting thing I have seen in this is a Bellric Flicker. I have not seen that. But it does work.
Interesting. Bellric Flicker. I'm not sure how well that might work, just because, well, I mean, in my mind, when it comes to certain things, it's not because it's bad. There are certain situations where it might work. It's just normally, when it comes to like a general overview of matches, there's just things that work better. Here, all three bands out there. Interestingly enough, Granger's still out on the table, where I feel like marksmans have been absolutely like prioritized when it comes to C, when it comes to Europe, when it comes to super high-end gaming. Granger has been like the dominant force, followed by the Harith and Irithel pickups, just because of how fast he scales. Haven't seen a Fredrin in a long time that was not out there to counter a Joy. So it's gonna be a very interesting matchup for me. I do have a special place in my heart for that skin, though. That shit is hot.
And they will pick up the Granger.
Let's hear from the crowd.
Let's see if they pick up the Irithel to counter.
Yeah, that's all that's really left. I have seen Clint sometimes picked up, but Irithel just has more that she can do, especially against a lot of those fighters. Once she gets that Demon Hunter sword, she can start shredding through a lot of the thicker and tankier front lines that we've been seeing through this meta. So she's usually prioritized. I've also seen Beatrix. Wan is still an option out there. Lu Yi, though, is a big one that is going to be very interesting to see how that works, just because of the mobility of some of these heroes. Granger, CC is going to be very hard to kind of get your yin yang onto. Suyu, not so much, because he's a very front end diving type of hero. He's going to come right at you, and that's pretty much prime for how Lu Yi is going to try to line up some of her attacks.
Agreed. But you do have the Fredrin to lock them down with that CC chain.
Yeah, so you have that front line that's actually going to be able to kind of hold them in place. Not just that, but we also have a decent amount of disengage and engage, depending on how you wanna spin it, with the Matilda pickup there, who's been absolutely one of, if not the most dominating roams out there. I want to say at least for like 3 seasons in a row right now.
She is annoying to go against. It's either her or Cho, in my opinion.
I want to say for me, like, I can play Matilda, so and I have like the worst time with Cho, whereas Cho takes like this really heavy, fast-handed individual who's got like a decent amount of mechanical skills. I feel like Matilda is just a lot easier to use when it comes to the roam position. So I don't see as many Chos. Tigreal's another one that's got heavy CC, and especially with an ability to set an entire team, he's been a prio that I've seen. I do like that they banned out the Irithel there, the potential counter for the Granger pick up there. So I'm wondering where we're going to go for in that lane.
I think the best choice for them is a Bia. Just because of the team fight and the multiple ults they can have in the impact.
They have the Lucas taken out of there. It's really interesting to me because I've seen Lucas kind of prioritized throughout this last 2 weeks, ever since he's kind of been available for some tournaments, especially in Snapdragon. And while he hasn't had like these game-changing presences for a lot of compositions, he is still kind of a very steady factor in that XP lane. Even when he's got like the direct counters out there, like a Phoveus or something, he still has to have this huge amount of presence for that team.
Speaking of XPs, Edith is picked up. That's very interesting in this meta.
Well, I mean, it's some of these old. I want to say the Night Horde draft kind of reminds me of I want to say a seasons past, you know what I mean? I don't want to say it's an old draft, but it does feel like it's something that's just more comfortable rather than just really heavily digging into the meta. So and that might be something that actually is successful for them if they're just kind of leaning on stuff that they know more than anything, rather than just kind of going outside of their box to something that they might not be great on, just to kind of fill that spot that the meta is delegating that they go to. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually works out.
They still need the marksman pick. Who will it be?
Yeah, I'm wondering what we go here. The only other thing I can think of, Wan, possibly carry, but I mean, you're talking about the early game of a Granger going up against the late game of a carry, which is like, carry's going to get bamboozled in that lane.
And Ixia, that is.
Ooh. I mean, I've seen it work, especially because of this. I mean, even in the, I want to say last season, Matilda and Ixia was this huge thing because you could have that full barrage out and Matilda could help adjust your positioning while you're in that full barrage. So this will be really interesting, and it's potentially out there to get her out of harm's way with that guiding winds.
She will have tons of backup with the Fred though. So one ult may just change the game. Now we're loading in.
All right, let me turn this off. Get right into the game here. Whose draft are you liking more here? Where's your prediction going on?
Would love Night Horde's draft more just because of the Fredrin. I'm a major Fredrin player.
I feel like he still has. You're gonna be controlling the button. Okay, there we go. Good.
Yeah.
You could put that on max. Are you still gonna be able to see it?
Yeah, a little. Is Max okay here?
Yeah, that's fine for me. I can still see.
Okay. Both junglers will start on their blue, meeting opposite lanes.
Yeah, it does look like actually Fredrin a little late behind the curve there to kind of move on to his orange buff. And you can see Suyu actually getting already starting to with the invade, which Matilda's going to go ahead and get a little bit of vision, get that information back to her team. So we're going to see if they actually answer it. As you see Babira kind of coming in, looking for something, but not able exactly to find it just yet.
Someone's at my door. No way. Dang. Get my brother to answer it. Sorry for that.
One thing I do. Yeah, I just started. That was exactly what I was about to say. One thing to notice is that he has just started his red, while on the side of Area 77, they've already gotten an invade, gotten some minions from there, and poor Last Hope. They're checking out the enemy jungle. It's barren for him, so he's going to be kind of behind the curve when it comes to it. One thing that he does have in favor of him as a Fredrin, he doesn't need a ton of gold to be effective. So the moment he gets that level 4, he's going to be fine, especially with some of the defensive items that he'll be able to purchase already.
But that red tree battle you need at first turtle is important. He's still not level 4, and we have Suyu at level 5 already.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to kind of throw down an Appraiser's Wrath, but he is still going to be able to kind of get that first ability. He's going to go ahead and start on his actual purple buff while this turtle fight's going on, and we do actually have some... I want to say they were looking to get that information. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to help anywhere with that turtle, and actually might be able to get this stolen. Ooh. Looks like WIQ kind of dove in there. I was looking for him to possibly be punished right now. One thing that I kind of notice from the side of Night Horde is when it comes to macro, they're kind of maybe a little lackadaisical. They weren't prioing. There really wasn't anything to punish them getting the turtle with it. Suyu freely able to farm from their jungle, even went in to try to get a couple pot shots for that purple buff, and no punishment as of yet coming from the Night Horde team.
Both teams just playing discipline as they can. Night Horde can't really do much with the Fredrin down. But really, you don't really need to do much with this type of comp. You just need to wait till late game for Night Horde's comp to really be active.
And I mean, and that's not a bad plan. It's just that path getting to that late game, and that's something that actually might kind of speak bad about the Area 77 team, is if they can't actually make something happen, if they can't get kills, if they can't transition any of these rotations into some actual objectives. As you move into the mid game and late game, it is going to start favoring Night Horde just a little bit more.
That is my thoughts exactly. You really do need to pick Ixia, get an objective, get a turtle.
Well, I mean, Granger's doing all right. That one of the things, though, I'm kind of feeling a little... I feel like we're not utilizing the Granger. Oh, here, as I say that, he's already started. I was about to say he's not rotating very quickly just yet. He is now getting some pot shots in there, but we're not actually, as a team, kind of working to utilize that early game that he's already thrashed, and he's going to get another Death Sonata onto him up at the top. and Ashira actually in trouble. Actually gonna come in here. Dawning Light goes out there. A little bit of a fight there onto the back line. Suyu is actually able to get the turtle. We do have a full barrage out and whittles down the Area 77 team, but still no deaths.
They are collecting the mid gold here, though. They do have a slight 2K advantage.
The 2K advantage, and which isn't like isn't really it isn't a small thing at the 5-minute mark. 2K is actually pretty decent, but the gold really doesn't have a huge effect until you start getting to the mid and late game, and it really kind of depends on who that is. And I would put most of that is probably if you hit that down arrow, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's probably on the Suyu. Where that gold is going, which is where I would expect it. Most of it going on the Suyu. We talked about it before. Fredrin doesn't really need a lot of gold because he's going to be playing more of a defensive type of a CC'er in the mid lane. He's going to try to hold on to these buffs or hold on to these objectives. Oh, Matilda might be actually caught. And that's just the value you get out of a Matilda. She's just going to be able to dash away. And right now, it doesn't look like Area 77 is at a point where they really want to push on. But a little bit of an aid into the purple buff CC and Suyu. A little bit last hope is not going to let that slide. There are 3 members around him, and he gets taken down by Suyu. First blood going over to Area 77. We do see a little bit of a guiding winds there going into Chinatsu. So not too much worse for wear. A little bit of one first blood there, 1 death out on the screen, just still not able to make a move onto any of these towers just yet. Ashira in a little bit of trouble, but a little bit of zoning there just to kind of make sure that they get another turtle. And we're almost extending this lead to about 3K right now, still without an answer yet coming out from Nighthorde, who are starting to feel this news kind of get tighter and tighter. Dawning Light goes out. Ooh, a little bit of a pop up there onto Chinitsu. Team is not ready. Their CC into the mid lane, and Eureka finds a kill on that Granger with a Death Sonata. Rhapsody out there to back off the rest of them, and that is going to be a first tower and probably the most important tower of the game being taken down on the side of Nighthorde.
Bot looks like it's about to be taken to here.
Yeah, and it's just so quick. There's not much that they're going to be able to do for it. They don't have the rest of the team down here. At this point, I mean, we need to start getting our buffs, grouping up, and just start trying to answer this before this really starts getting out of hand. They're already about 3K gold behind. There's not going to be too many fights that they're going to be able to win if this continues. You're looking at a point where you can already see Eureka on the Granger right now starting to farm jungle minions now just to kind of keep that those stacks up that give him more damage. Her more damage. Circling Eagle does land, but the rest of the team decides against it. They all just kind of Ashira goes in with the circling Eagle. The rest of the team's like, nah. They just turn around and go the other way. Maybe might want to kind of communicated that to your Rome, who went in, got the set. Big pop-up lands on the 2 members. We do have a full barrage out with the flicker. Forward is gonna find 3 kills under the belt for Scarfs.
And that is the punish I was talking about with the Ixia. Once Ixia gets her like perfect lineup, it's a game changer.
A mooring went to the bouncy house of doom there. 3 people hit her with a bounce and popped her up. She was forever just jumping up in that lane until she was eventually taken down. Unfortunate. And that's just a decent amount of CC, and it's great to see this composition finally start coming online and a tower up at top.
It sucks to be at the end of those.
Dawning Light out there just to kind of press out to see where the rest of the team is. Good job by Sky for a little bit of scouting and information, but that's going to be the first Lord. And once you're getting these kills, I mean, these kills aren't going to be very important unless you can kind of get something behind it. Are you going to be able to get an objective? Are you going to be able to kind of get it in favor of yourself? Still, I want to say a little underneath 4K lead for the side of Area 77. And we're going to see if they can do. Now, I'm going to throw this critique out there. Bear with me, and I'm sorry if it hurts some feelings. But when we go through some of the women's tournaments, I want to say the biggest thing is how are they able to close? And I've noticed that a lot of teams sometimes can have that problem. When it gets to the enemy gates, when it gets to that core, they start losing some of that synergy. They start losing some of whatever it took to kind of get to that point. It starts falling apart at the enemy's gates, and then you start getting these games that last a little bit longer. So we're going to see if Area 77 has kind of cleaned that strategy up a bit and is going to be able to close this game off in good fashion. As Last Hope gets taken out by Eureka, that big boy Granger damage. Ooh, man, and they are just kind of surgically moving through all of these towers now, just left to the high grounds.
They do pop all the inhibs. They're looking like they're forcing top here. Do they? They do not get it.
Do you want to hit that? Do you want to hit that down arrow in the upper right-hand corner for a second? There we go. Perfect. So we can take a look at some of these items right now. You can see 7K right now on the Suyu, but it's actually being matched up by scarfs right now. So the only thing that's really kind of out of line there is the Granger right now. Eureka, 9K gold right now, kind of leading the pack. When it comes to it, has he's working on his last item. I'm assuming this is going to be a BOD. Already has a War Axe, already has a Sky Piercer, Hunter Strike, and Malefic Roar. Probably looking for a BOD last item here, and he's got the gold to kind of go with it. There's going to need to be some type of answer coming out from the side of Night Horde. I mean, they showed that they can do it. They have the CC. They just need to be in position, which is something that they found themselves not in for most of these objectives and most of this game. Chidatsu checking the bush there, doing a great job. Eureka comes in there. That's Sonata out there to get some feelers. Hits Last Hope there, about 10% health taken down there. And that's going to back up the entire team. So you're going to have another free Lord here. And unfortunate for them, they are about 7K gold, or I want to say 6K gold behind. This is going to kind of come down to the defenses and to the offense when it comes to these final pushes. Are we going to be able to find something from the Night Horde to be able to turn this around? Because they're not taking fights. They know they're not going to be able to take these. And it's only looking like they're going to need to wait for a mistake coming from Area 77. As we move in here, Lord coming up on top. He's going to make short work of that top high ground tower. Dawning Light goes out there to take down Shahira. Ashira Scarfs does get himself a kill onto Suyu. That whole full barrage, a great defense, and this is what we were talking about when it comes to those final pushes. Ashira in a little bit of trouble, has that guiding wind, is able to get out there. We do have Luyi, backline dive. They're looking for some damage. Dawning Light goes out, just narrowly misses Ashira, and the rest of a Night Horde backing back up to the base. Looking to get topped up there, maybe overstaying their welcome was Area 77 on that one, as they are kind of able to kind of bring it back down. It's still about a 7K gold lead for Area 77, but it looks like Night Horde lives to fight another day. anything to add, Eon? He just...
I don't know, man. A lot of, I feel like people don't want to hear me talk right now, so I'm just like, I'm here. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't want to overtake this. If you want to kind of try to get some practice in, try to talk about what's going on in the map. Maybe I'm not gonna lie, I hate when casters ask, what does Night Horde need to do here? And like obviously this question is, well, maybe not be at an 8k gold deficit would be a start. Other than that, yeah, a meteor needs to strike the other side of the map and just basically wipe out the entirety of Area 77 to give them a chance. All minions coming in, no high grounds out there. Eureka looking for an opportunity. They do have a little bit of damage coming out, but the Guiding Wind's going to back them out. Ooh, diving in is CU. Guiding Light, or Dawning Light comes out there. Full Barrage is out, and Babira does find a kill, but answered right back by the Suyu. Is that going to be enough? Chinatsu takes a bit of damage. They still have one person down for each team and still not able to close it, but they do get a person down. They do get some distance, and this is going to be another Lord for the side of Area 77.
They are looking to contest a little here, but it is kind of pointless. Gato with the ults, he misses it, which we have seen a lot during the last stream. So it's just kind of hard to land a Gato ult.
Well, the problem is Gatakacha doesn't work well as the only setting roam. He just I forgot what you call it. He telegraphs his ability. Did he steal that?
Ooh.
He sure did. He just took that purple buff. Sky, Dawning Light in there, takes the only thing that they had left and his last hope, looking for at least a purple buff, and that gets sniped away by a Dawning Light from Sky. Now they have all members coming in with a Lord crashing in at mid. No high grounds here, trying to look for an opportunity. Do we have a full barrage out there? Does look like Scarf is able to find a kill into the back lines. We have we do have an AOV coming out as well, but that is going to be it for the side of Night Horde as Area 77 with a final push. Wrapping this up, I want to say at around just under 20 minutes. Yeah, 16:55. So still able to kind of close this up despite, I want to say, a decent clearing ability from the side of Night Horde. So, oh yeah. First of all, can we turn off the music and then and then can you? Then are you going to? Are you just switching them sides too?
I think they have to switch sides. I don't choose that.
Huh? Is this a tournament lobby?
Yeah, it is. But
oh, somebody else is controlling it.
Yeah, someone else.
Oh, okay. Yes, guys, this is Area 77 Angels and Night Horde of Valkyries.
Game 1 does go to Area 77.
What do you think, where do you think the faults were with Night Horde?
Personally, just they didn't capitalize on that one team fight top. They just gave First Lord. That is one issue that I would probably recommend not doing again. Because if you come back from that type of lead, you do need an objective to follow up with that.
For me, I feel like the reason that the draft felt a little older to the point where it felt like last season's draft is because one of the biggest reasons that some of these picks have kind of come online, things like the Suyu, things like Alpha, some of these fighters that overtook. So I guess at the beginning was the tanks from the last meta, which started kind of getting outperformed by assassins, because assassins can move through the map so quickly that some of those tankier ones like Fredrin, Akai, weren't able to kind of keep up when it came to like the ganking speed and getting the jungle through a lot of them. And then kind of came the fighters, because unlike the assassins, the fighters were able to clear the jungle super quickly. And so now you're talking like you're 2 steps behind. We saw it already. Suyu was able to clear out his orange buff and then move on to enemies' jungle and just start clearing out minions before Fredrin was even done with his purple buff. And then we were talking about, I want to say about 1:30 before Fredrin was actually even moving on to his actual orange buff. So, and that just kind of tells you the time. And then after that, you're just getting pressure on the lanes, and you have the responses coming from Night Horde always after the fact. So they were always kind of replying to Area 77 instead of like initiating their own fights and delegating their own pace of the match.
One thing that threw me off was the Suyu's clear. I've never seen someone go to a blue buff, then the enemy's crab. That is something I'm new to. I have not seen that before.
I literally never seen that before either, but I think the big thing was that they knew that the Fredrin was going to be very slow in trying to get his minions down, and they also knew that they had the protection of the offense that Granger was going to give. So if they met any type of resistance trying to go get anything from the enemy side, Granger would be there to actually be able to kind of put that suppressive fire with the Rhapsody if it actually came down to it. But what ended up happening was there just were no answers. There was no answer. There was no reply to that. There was no reply to the first objective being taken by Area 77. And then there was no reply to Suyu actually. He didn't take the purple buff right after the first objective, but he did stick his nose in there, and nobody punished him. Nobody even kind of closed in around him. So I'm not sure if that's a communication issue or if they just had other priorities on the team.
The synergy is just looking a little off on the map. What do you think Night Horde would have to fix? Would it be the draft or the gameplay here? Me personally, I think the draft was fine.
I don't know. I don't. It's really interesting. I don't know. The first thing that happened, if we're going in chronological order, there were some parts in the draft that I kind of wasn't a huge fan of. Like I said, the Fredrin, when it's not out there to counter the Joy, it's not one of the greatest picks. I don't want to say Fredrin isn't a part of the meta, but I do want to say, like, I feel like the team maybe, you talked about synergy. I need the rest of the team to kind of help out. If you've got a Fredrin on your team, the mage and who was at the bottom lane, the XP lane, at the very least, need to be helping Fredrin take down that first buff to kind of get the ball rolling, so he's not 1:30 getting his orange buff. So there's just those little obvious things that kind of need to be taken care of if you're going to want to keep up with something, to kind of make sure that Fredrin, because I don't think when it comes to actual fights, Fredrin has that big of a problem holding an objective against an enemy Suyu or even an assassin or anything like that. It's just he was never even at any of these objective fights because he was still kind of making his rotations and still trying to get his jungle.
Yeah, you could see it was quite delayed, and we were surprised when Suyu just finished his red that Fred started his red. Little things do matter in the jungle.
And kind of wondering what is going on here. Are we taking a siesta? Is that game 1, game 2 next week, or
maybe subbing in some new players? It's happened last time too.
Is this our time? Me and you, Eon? Which one do you want? Area 77? I'll take Valkyries.
I'll go with Night Horde.
Oh, you're gonna get Night Horde. Okay, I got Area 77. I'm gonna throw that Cyclops boogie on them.
Gonna get that Raph into the meta. They are leaving, which is I think they're swapping players, or it just might be
Three
the watch.
players? They're changing the entire bench?
Area 77 too. I really don't know what's happening.
Yep, no problem. I'm going to find out because short intermission.
Okay.
The Cyclops boogie. Oh, can I get my my bot up here too? So we are taking a short intermission, guys. Apparently stamina is a factor. These guys, they're out of breath right now, so we're waiting for the recovery.
One game will do that to you.
But while I have you guys trapped here, I will let you know. Can I take this down here? Edits. So if you guys do not know, especially on YouTube, one of the big community members for a lot of YouTube streams and a cosplayer for almost all of the NACTs, Ritz, who's been around, I want to say, since the beginning for Mobile Legends. She's a big part of, she's also the manager for Gosu. She, unfortunately, her family lost their house in the California fires. So if you press exclamation point Ritz, there is a link to the GoFundMe for that family. If there's anything that you guys can help out with, like I said, she's a close personal friend of mine, and she's also like probably one of the nicest people I've ever known when it comes to like especially when it comes to kind of supporting the community, whether it's like that means going out to Las Vegas or LA or even out here in Chicago. I've even met her a couple of times on connecting flights. She's even been to M Series too to kind of support our teams out there. But like I said, her family lost their house, and they could use some help. If you guys can support, if you can't, I'm sure she would appreciate some well wishes from everybody. But just so you guys know that they're especially when it comes to a lot of these California fires that are going on, it is affecting a lot of people. So I'm just gonna kind of throw that out there since I got you all trapped here. Explanation point save Ritz if you guys are interested in helping out. If not, go on about your day. It said I need the help, princess. Vote no on not a mod. Princess, how many mods do we have on YouTube? Is it just you on that side? I would have to check out. I'd have to eye the potential moderators a little bit more just to kind of make sure that they have the stream's values at core, so that I don't have to worry. Like I'm gonna tell you, like I take a very hands-off approach to mods and stuff like that until like we start getting into bannings and stuff like that. Ritz is also a mod. But Ritz isn't on too much because she works her ass off. I think the only day she's usually on is Monday. But yeah, that's something to talk about. I need to reorganize a bunch of my mods anyway too. We've got a bunch on Twitch that aren't even here anymore, so we're gonna probably loosen up those. Bro, all right. We're gonna need to know because I'm not gonna be here for like 4 hours for a best of 5 if
Taking quite a long time, man.
yeah.
Could have finished a ranked game by now.
Best of 7? This is only a best of 5, right?
I think he changed it. He keeps changing it. So I think it's best of 5 right now.
Being a mod isn't really that hard. It's gonna get harder. Zane, it is well, not harder per se, but I expect my mods to greet everybody. They're also in charge of helping get clips and stuff for the stream. And there's going to be something else too. I have to make some commands for the mods too to help out with polls and stuff like that. If they go dark, if my mods turn evil. Okay. the immense power of being a Discord, of being a YouTube mod will corrupt my I'm sorry, but why are they waiting? I'm actually it'll be 5 minutes. I will say if this kind of continues, we might cut this out. We just got things to do. Can you make a poll bot on YouTube? Dude, if you have questions and suggestions like this, just put them into the Discord. Explanation point Discord for any of you guys who are interested. But yeah, put them into the Discord and I'll see what I can do to kind of get these things working. Thank you so much for the follow.
Got some parlays riding on these games.
Tell the E-whore to hit up my DM. Are they talking to you? I'm pretty sure that's you, Eon.
A lot of these comments are wild.
He's gonna need to. We're gonna need to get people to herd these kittens into a box, bro. Come on, man. You wouldn't let this slide with guys.
I think they would. If it was Mobazane, I think anyone would let us.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate that. I had so much respect for Coda when he was running the Moonlight Club, just because he, like, when they didn't show up or they had things like that, like they were gonna have to wait, he would just disqualify them, and I was like, yeah, attaboy. Like, fuck them if they can't fucking make it to the time that you've told them in advance for 2 weeks, and they suddenly can't fucking make it. Like, bro, just disqualify them, move on, give the prize to the people who actually showed up. That's first of all. Second of all, I don't see Mobazane here on my screen.
That is true. We are seeing his picks, though.
Oh my god, I love Coda. Well, that comes with a caveat, though, is because Coda disappeared without paying a lot of people for that in his organization. Kind of just rolled up his socks and then took off and disappeared off the internet while still owing a lot of people for a lot of the hard work that they put into his tournaments, which is really disappointing because not only does that kind of give us a bad name or gives community tournaments a lot of bad names and stuff like that, but it burns a lot of hard workers, people who have like a passion for doing this. There's a lot of people who help out with that. Lise is one. I think Athena was also helping out as staff there, and it burns them out. Like, it gets to the point where they see all their hard work absolutely trashed because this dude just disappears and doesn't want to pay anybody anymore, and all their hard work is basically just minimized into oh, that's the place where they didn't pay people, you know what I mean? So now they don't even really want to do anything, and now the community is probably all the worse because you've probably down one or two really hard workers who put in a lot of energy.
Hate when things like that happen.
I'm so salty I'm turning into a cracker. All right, looks like they're starting to fill back in after the bathroom break. I guess they had to do up their hair, powder their nose, make sure the lipstick was on right. All right, you know what? Maybe this would be a good time to get these fucking names down. Scarf, Makora, NA's Last Hope. Does that have another name?
Nope.
Okay. Ashira, Babira, Babira? I'm going to call her Babira. I'm going to call that one Amor. Huh?
Bibira.
So it's supposed to be BB? I'm just going to call him BB then. Hey, BB. Eureka, Chinatsu. I don't understand. Who's that third one?
On which side?
The left side, Area 77. The third one, Chinese characters, or Korean, or Japanese for all I fucking know.
I think that's one. I hope not.
You think you said that's what?
Two symbols in one, so one's like a different language. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they're both symbols from different languages of keyboards.
I'm pretty sure. I would hope not, but
all right, looks like they might be ready. Are they ready?
I think they are ready. 5 people. They are ready. We have started. Finally.
All right, finally on to the left side, onto the blue side. It does look like Horde is going to have the first pick priority here. Looking if they're going to try to change something up after having a little bit of a failure when it comes to the Fredrin pickup.
I do think they're gonna prio the Suyu a little more for Night Horde. That was his comfort for the last 3 games yesterday.
The one with the Mandarin characters is Yan. All right. Better than me trying to pronounce that. All right, Yan. Easy peasy. Yeah, so pretty standard bands here. I'm wondering if we maybe kind of want to go ahead prio up that Granger, which is really interesting too, because Granger, he wasn't picked up first, right? Who was the first pickup for Area 77? Oh, it was the Suyu, and they went ahead and they prioed the Fredrin, and I think it was Matilda.
Fred and Matilda. No, it was the Lu Yi, I think.
Yeah, the Fred and the Lu Yi, and they gave away the Granger. That was another thing that was kind of a big problem for the side of Night Horde, is that they didn't really have anything to stunt the early game or even have an invade. No Hilda, no Gatakacha, not even a Khalid. I think the only real early game is Matilda, who really can't be invading or doing much on her own.
Agreed. And you do not want your whole team to be late game, or else you'll just suffer.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing how this kind of works out. Actually, can we put this back on?
One side banning assassins, the other mages. We do have a Guess you do not want to pick it up.
Lu Yi. I mean, some of the picks, I guess it just kind of depends on where. I mean, we're in North America now, so I want to say lag can be a factor for a lot of these people. But for me, there's just so many mobile things that you can kind of throw out there. Ooh, they're going to go ahead and prioritize the Suyu. Take that away, especially because Area 77 prioed that last time and were very successful with it.
They do take his comfort, and I would like to see him on the Suyu. Hopefully, he does a lot better than his Fred. Maybe be more. They do take the Granger.
Oh man, yeah, they're gonna. But I want to say Harith is taken off the board there. I mean, Irithel is still out there, but I'm not sure if they didn't pick Irithel last time, did they? Or was it banned?
It was banned.
Oh, it was banned. So maybe that's something that you can prio right now, or you're going to probably see that banned again on the side of Area 77. Oh, yep, there it is. They're going to go ahead and scoop that up very quickly. So now we're going to still be looking for a roam and a mid lane for the side out. They're learning, so maybe we'll see how well they kind of do with, I want to say, even at this point, a much better draft than I saw from them last time. It seems more current, more modern, dare I say.
Alpha has been picked up, which I don't like going against this draft. Too much mobility. I don't know. Maybe it's the hero mastery, and he just got Alpha down like that. I just don't find it a good pick.
You don't like the Alpha pick?
And to here, just too much mobility. The CC could just jump away, Irithel down. You could just lock him down if he lands his first stun.
Well, I guess that all depends on how you're actually getting there. They do have the Matilda for the initiation, so Matilda does potentially have the ability to kind of lock on to CC, lock on to Irithel before they actually dive in to kind of guarantee a kill. And then you also have the guiding winds that once you get that kill, even if you've overextended a little bit into enemy territory, you have that guiding winds to kind of pull you back out and away. So I mean, they do have the ability is there to be successful with it. We'll just see where the execution is for this team.
Okay. And I am referring to Suyu as a he because that is the character. I know they are all female. I'm sorry if that offended anybody. Whew. They do ban the Eve and the Valentina.
Yeah, we're seeing Eve taken out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the Eve. I just don't see it. Just as a mage, maybe, and I am a mid lane player. I just find her so unexciting to play. Just kind of throwing down your RWM, and then it's just kind of like just tapping your phone, and then it's like I like the. Being able to play like a Valentina, maybe even the Vexana out there. And I'm wondering where you go here. There's a lot of mobility on the side of Area 77 here. So I'm wondering where you go with the mage picks. Vexana's still out there. Aurora is potentially out there, but you're only really using the Aurora for the engagement for Alpha here. Because, I mean, you've got the range from Granger. You've got a decent amount of range and engage from Matilda. That's not going to really be great for an Aurora. So kind of wondering where they go here. And Carmilla banned out by Area 77, which is very interesting. Because they already banned out Sicilian, so I don't get it.
Yeah. I feel like they just want to give their Alpha the easiest time they had, because the last few games when they did go Alpha, those two did mess up the Alpha a lot. But against Area 77, I would not know. Have not seen them play yet, besides last game. Maybe just an easier pathway for Alpha to invade more. The Karm does kind of get in Alpha's face a little. Same with the Yve. They do pick up the Ruby.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge amount of CC for them as well. And it's kind of one of those things where they can go into the XP or the roam position here too as well. for them. It just kind of depends on where we're going. I like the Gatakacha pickup. It's a lot prio. But it just this draft is just it almost kind of makes me want to ask what happened with the last draft, because so now you're showing that you can draft here with what is out there. So what happened with that last draft where we went with some kind of not very great pickups there? I like the pairing. While I said before, like, Aurora's not really going to be my big prio pick, I do like her paired with the Gatakacha, because we were talking about it before. Gatakacha, that Avatar of the Guardian, I mean, it's the most, I want to say, the most dodged move. There was a survey done by a California university that the Avatar of the Guardian is the most dodged ultimate in Mobile Legends. And you need to set that up with something. Yeah. There always needs to be something before that. The Frigid Glacier coming from Aurora might be something that could potentially get there, especially if you've got a Ruby and an Alpha trying to charge into you. But I want to say the other three, it's going to be very hard to grab those other three into some of that CC.
I guess we will see how they play out. Personally, Ashira's Gato is my favorite Gato. I love seeing her on the Gato, just for certain reasons.
Gatakacha with the mustache of mustaches on that skin. We're gonna see how well this kind of plays into it. Sky going for the what was that last pick? Was that the? Oh, that was the Lilia. I haven't seen many Lilias out there as well. So we'll see how well this match goes on as we're about to get on into the matchup here.
I am more in favor of Nighthorde's draft. Once again, just what about you?
I mean, Area 77, I can't go against my favorite. The first hero I ever played on this game was Granger, and he took me, I like played that straight for 2 weeks until he got me to Mythic when I first started playing this game. Right now, he is probably more broken than any hero on this game right now. It's hard for me to go against him, especially being paired up with a Matilda, who's basically like the #1 roam right now in the game. It's going to be I want to say it's going to be a hard fought battle for Nighthorde if they are going to win this over those two heroes alone.
Once again, both junglers have different priorities in this laning phase. Alpha his red did reset a little. We'll set him back a little. To you on his greens already.
Yeah, you can see NA's Last Hope there going to go ahead and start forward. Alpha. Oh, yeah, I want to say Alpha just a little bit behind it. Absolutely the opposite of what we saw from the last game, where NA's Last Hope was having a rough time kind of trying to get through the jungle. We don't have any invades here just yet. So both teams paying respect to each other when it comes to some of these engagements. Shinatsu is going to go ahead and dash her way to safety. Ooh. NA's Last Hope comes in, tries to put some damage out. Not quite yet there on the damage department to actually be a threat. Ooh, we might have a problem here. 3 members crushed it. Yeah, got baited into that fight. Even popped out the vengeance. Oh, that's you hate to see it when somebody bites so hard on the bait and you're just like, oh, all 3 members close in so quickly around her. And that's going to be a first blood for Area 77.
Always got to watch map. Always got to see where they are.
Yeah, and it's not even just about well, yeah, it is about watching map. It's about like knowing that you don't know what is there, and especially because I mean, a lot of people like to put the blame onto the roam. Why weren't you there? Why weren't you getting vision? Well, if they're not there and they're not giving vision, you need to assume that there's something in that bush now. You know what I mean? It doesn't always mean that that it should have been on them. We do have a little bit of a pause here. I don't know what's going on. Can you see? Oh, we caught back up here. Yeah. Can you put it at medium just because I want to say the quality is dropping just a bit, so it's kind of hard to see what the names are.
Will that be good?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we do have a fight there. 2 kills actually picked up by the side of Nighthorde. So able to kind of answer back right now and taking a little bit of a gold lead for them. And I'm not even sure who got that turtle. Trying to see. I don't see any shield on this. Oh, yeah. So it does look like, yeah. Night Horde was actually able to come in there and grab that. A little bit of a pause and a delay on the stream, so I wasn't able to see. Frigid Glacier came out and then it absolutely froze the stream too. So
she's aiming for the viewers.
Oh man, as we can
win that one top.
Go ahead.
Oh, Eureka did win that 1v1 top early game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Granger's always going to win the early game. I feel like the only time that you're going to have the Irithel start coming in through the mid game where just that damage and that heavy crossbow is really going to have that its effect, especially when you're starting to dodge a lot of the Rhapsodies coming out from Granger as well. You do see, I want to say, and this is what Scarce is doing is a good job here because he knows he doesn't see many people on there. He did notice that the mid disappeared from there and was heading her way, so she has been kind of hugging behind the turret because she knows she doesn't know where anybody is and there could be a gank coming their way. Ooh, at the bottom, it looks like a little bit of an engagement. Ooh, and Suyu is able to kind of get out of that. There is Alpha kind of goes in there. Oh, Avatar the Guardian comes out.
Yeah,
BB is able to find a kill. 2 kills. Shinatsu is down.
Even though Gato kind of missed his ult there, landed on nobody, they still got the kill.
Well, I mean, they landed on nobody, but and that's what I think. I feel like Gato maybe not that Night Horde isn't doing well right now because they're actually doing all right. It could be just more effective if Gato understands that the Avatar of the Guardian can be used after the Frigid Glacier, especially with people, because people are going to use their purifies, they're going to use their flickers to try to get out of it, and once that happens, that's the perfect opportunity to throw out the Avatar of the Guardian.
I did not see who secured that crab there for some reason.
Thank you for the bits, Hind Under Bush.
I feel like Granger's just having a little too much time to scale. They do need to cut him off while he's double laning or when he's alone.
He's level 7. He's at the same point. I mean, he's scaling, but so is the Irithel. And I want to say Irithel kind of lasts more into the later game than Granger does. Ooh, we did miss an I'm offended. Makora, I believe that is, able to dodge out I'm offended and kind of continues prancing on their merry way. Oh, but speaking of scaling scarves, see, this is just such a good read by them. And this is what I'm talking about is if you don't have somebody giving you vision there, if you see that the mid has disappeared, if you see everybody else has disappeared off the map, none of your people have vision up there, she sensed something was amiss up there, like immediately went to the mid tower. So a good read there by Scarves. Oh, as I say that, takes an entire Rhapsody to the face, followed by the Death Sonata, is going to have to find a way back home. Chinatsu was looking for an angle, did not find it, and that's going to possibly be a tower. But immediately, a tower actually answered down at the bottom by Makora.
Turtle is looking in the favor of Area 77. They are set up here. They do get top turret. Here we have Alpha farming a crap.
Yeah, so they were able to answer it back here. Suyu just doing a great job here. Do have the turtle on the side. It has been pulled out and reset. Evil Queller strikes 2 members of Area 77. We do have a Death Sonata out there. Does hit Ashira. Now looking for an angle. I want to say great positioning here by the side of Area 77. 50% left on this turtle. Are they going to be able to come in there? They're not. They're still putting on a great amount of suppressive fire. Evil Queller. We do have the Avatar of the Guardian. NA's last hope catches the retribution and a kill onto Alpha. You can see Night Horde pushing forward, but Amarin comes in, I'm offended, in there, upsetting the entirety of the Night Horde team to try to get an engagement. Sky finds a kill onto NA's last hope, and just like that, NA has to, or Night Horde has to disengage.
What a crazy sequence.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you had a great setup there. Eddie's Last Hope gets the Lord, gets a kill onto the Alpha as well. But the problem is they tried to force the fight into that tight little corner there. And I want to say those little tight areas in the jungle is where people like Ruby shine, because there's just so much CC. You're not going to be able to get around without getting caught by some of the CC that she has out there. You saw the I'm Offended come out there and able to punish them back. What should have happened there is we got the turtle, we got a kill as well. What were these kills going to do for us? We could just turn around, start clearing out the jungle, even maybe start moving on to Alpha's jungle on the bottom half, and possibly get another tower on the other side of the map. Instead, we kind of got kill hungry, got into that brawl mode, and unfortunately, that's what happens with a lot of brawls, especially when they're in enemy territory. Those are the worst type of fights that you can take.
Agreed. Discipline will always be an issue.
Did he take that? Oh my
That's
god. Eureka with the Death Sonata snatches the purple buff. That is unfortunate. Now they're trying to put the boots. We do have a Circling Eagle out there, catches two members in there with the slide, and it does look like Eureka actually able to take down this tower. They're putting those last little hits on there. They don't have any minions. They are finally able to take it down just through attrition. Each one of them had to take a few tower shots to get that off, and now they're going to turn their attention to this Lord.
You can see the Granders just staying online, being proactive, giving vision, bursting everybody down.
Ooh,
that is just such a need to play against.
Yeah, Circling Eagle is out there. We did see a little bit of a charge there coming from NA's Last Hope, but not able to connect there. But very swiftly, it does look like, Avatar the Guardian to used it defensively. And was that just a Frigid Glacier I saw that didn't strike anybody? This is where that desperation starts to show from the team. I almost feel like they didn't need any of those abilities to be able to get away, but they're starting to get frustrated, and it's starting to show. Now you're not going to have that Frigid Glacier for a little bit. You're not going to have that Avatar the Guardian for a little bit, and these little things like a Lord coming to your base are going to start turning into big things now that you see that the enemy team. This is where that Frigid Glacier would have come in super handy. Unfortunately, they don't have it. Eureka gets another kill onto Ashira, using a Death Sonata on there, catches one for Scarf, trying to make her escape.
They are securing every lane. This is looking like a tough match for Nighthorde right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they did have, I want to say, a pretty large advantage, and then kind of got a little too confident, a little too greedy with a post-turtle fight, which ended up costing them two members. And then ever since that point, Area 77 has gotten the advantage, and they have not let go of it. Eureka doing a great job with some of the suppressive fire. Ooh, another Circling Eagle there does catch. Ooh, they're going in for a little bit of a fight. This might be a little too much. Eureka does find itself a kill into there. Frigid Glacier is out, passive taken out. BB is down. Eureka with the second kill of this engagement, and only 3 left on the side of Nighthorde to try to defend this. Minions coming at mid. Doesn't look like NA's Last Hope's going to be able to do much. Look at the chunking from that Death Sonata coming out. That's only almost 25% of Suyu's health there coming out. The Eureka has so many of these Granger stacks that he needs, has cleared so much. We have the high grounds at the bottom being taken down. Minions at the door. It looks like they're trying to close it up. This is an opportunity, though. If they can kind of keep on with these rotations, keep getting topped up, they might be able to punish Area 77 for staying in this fight too long if they're looking to close this up too early. Yeah, that is all of the high grounds down, and I want to say very cleanly, Area 77 immediately disengages. So they were just kind of, and then they have the Lord coming up here. So a great play by them. They are only 4K ahead, so almost feel like this is an opportunity you probably should have gone in for. Like, there's man, a lot of people, if you're not gonna, a lot of people feel like if you're not gonna be able to win a Lord fight, you shouldn't even go for it, especially if you're behind. But comes a certain point where if the enemy gets like comes a certain point in the game where it's like, if the enemy gets this Lord, they're gonna close. So we need to try something. And I feel like we're almost there, especially since we have all of the high grounds down, minions crashing, all minion waves starting to crash into all 3 lanes right now. A little bit of damage coming out there. Yeah, Lord is taken down. Circling Eagle comes out there. Avatar the Guardian crashes down on to the rest area 77. Scars finds himself a kill. Answered back with a double by the Alpha. Yan finds himself. Is it Yan? It is Yan. Yan finds himself 2 kills. But that is going to be a second game going over to area 77.
Close match in the early game. Just couldn't capitalize mid game. And that is what set them back late game. I would say that Nighthawk had a good start, just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, and that's kind of the unfortunate part. They were doing very well. Like I said, it's just that especially when it gets to a team like that, once they get the advantage, once they get the ball rolling, there's not going to be much that's going to be able to stop them, especially because it's those late game fights that really matter. Once you're taken out of the laning phase and you're just into those group fights, it's going to be a hard fought battle once you've lost the momentum that you needed. And Area 77 did a good job of being very crisp on where they had the Lord, making sure that the lanes were synced up, getting those towers. As soon as they got all the towers down, they disengaged. They didn't stay there too long, immediately went to the Lord again. So they had a plan and they stuck with it, and they didn't start to kind of crumble too at the core, where I want to say, like I was talking before about, like a lot of these teams sometimes they start losing that discipline as the game starts getting nearing the end, and it allows the enemies to kind of get those fight backs. There's just no wiggle room here for Night Hordes. You have to be very crisp, because every mistake that they make, it seems like Area 77 is able to get the advantage, and they're going to hold on to it.
I do agree. When does the Granger become bannable at this point? It has been an issue for both teams, but it doesn't seem like they can just go against the Granger. First pick will go to... They swap first picks, right?
I believe first pick should be going over to Night Horde now. They switched that in the back end.
It's just the synergy of Night Horde is not connecting right now. Hopefully they can pull through game 3, the game that matters for them. Was a close game. Biggest issue is that they just need to clean up around their objectives. The drafting has started.
Oh, they're already going into the draft. I was expecting another 30-minute delay. I was chilling. Okay, we'll be...
Area 77 will have to pick again. Turns out they did not switch it.
Yes. No, it is switched. Area 77 is on the blue side. Now Night Horde is on the red. Blue side is the first pick, first ban.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Night Horde was gonna get first pick this time.
They were first pick last time. That's how they got to sue you.
Tough.
Might as well ban Granger if you don't know how to deal with him. I kind of agree, especially since they're Man, he's just when it comes to just average, the average player does not know how to deal with the offense that Granger is capable of, especially when it comes. I've even streamed it. He's one of my favorite marksmen to play because he just scales so fast, and he can do so much in that lane early. And yeah, there it is. Just like, screw this, get this dude out of here. I'm so done with dealing with him. But what has that replaced right now? Are we going to give the Harith? Because that might be another thing. Depends. I would much rather them have a Harith, me pick up a carry, than deal with a Granger in lane, honestly. Even though carry does have a rough opening of a game, I'd rather deal with something that has obvious counters that I could try to abuse. Rather than I don't consider myself a great, like, a top tier, like, professional player, but I'm great on Granger, which tells me that he's probably super easy to use. So I'd rather there be something else out there that's harder to use or harder to master that I could potentially be able to take down.
I do not agree on the comfort pick thing that someone recommended. They already tried that game one, did not work out very well. They need a plan and stay disciplined to it.
It just depends, though. I mean, the interesting thing when it comes to, like, the community side, community tournaments, is you're talking about people who aren't possibly. You're not dealing with max hero pools of people who are expert on every single hero, and all you really have to do is draft a counter. You know what I mean? Because some of these people they probably don't play something that counters Harith, and it might be better for you to play something that you're great at rather than something that you're not great at, that just because it's a counter. It just depends, though. But if you're playing somebody who is great at Harith, it's some interesting pickups there. We let those. Suyu's been banned, honestly. So these took up some spots here. I'm trying to figure out what was left open.
Gato. Ling is still open. We have not seen him. Fanny is still open.
Fanny.
Nolan has been picked up for the first time in this tournament, I am pretty sure. Interesting to see. Especially against CC and Lu. What I do want to see, I'm not saying it would be good, but an interesting matchup would be a Lunox Gold against the Harith. Always love seeing
Lunox actually does very well against Harith, but does Lunox do great against the rest of these picks here? It's important sometimes when it comes to kind of these drafts. It's not just about, are you going to be able to win this lane? It's also about, are you going to be able to win this lane, and what does this hero bring to the team fight as well? Which is why you don't see too many Dairoths despite his dominance in an XP lane when it comes to 1v1s. Like, he can pretty much take on any holder there in that XP lane, but he's very squishy, very susceptible to CC. He sometimes, when it comes to the team fight, he's going to be the first one kind of like targeted out because of how squishy he is. I'm kind of liking, I'm kind of leaning towards a carry pickup here. If we can get some other early game assurance. Hylos is all right for the early game. I'd like to see a Gatakacha out there as well for the Harith, something else with some type of taunting ability. This honestly would have been the perfect opportunity to have that Fredrin out there for the Harith, just because I don't like what he can bring to some of these team fights, especially in the mid to late game. This is potentially, I believe this is potentially the last match for the side of Area 77. This is game point for them. Night Horde needs to get a win here.
Hopefully they can stay disciplined, stay to their plan if they have. And game 3 is just a throw for them.
Yeah, very interesting. Oh, Bellaric might have been another pick there if you put Hylos onto the. Just because he counters, he's got the aggro he can pull from Harith. Oh, Ling taking it.
bans. They probably just don't want anyone to go to the back line. Dive onto the Harris. They do have the Hylos for that though. Who would be a good pick for against Harris? What is a good matchup against the Harris? I can't really think.
For Harith, I want to say, well, it depends on what we're looking for. If we're looking for an XP lane, we actually still have the marksman lane out there. A marksman lane, Carry, right off the boot. Carry does very well against Harith. She's just auto attacks. She can use that speedy light wheel. It'll absolutely decimate him. Even if he's in, even if he drops down to Zaman Force. The only thing is that while she shines there, you're gonna have to get to that late game for her to really do great.
Agreed. We have not seen much good earlys yet.
Minsathar, maybe? As an XP laner? Well, we already have CC up there. We can't do much. Oh, man, I don't even... We've kind of... I feel like the Harith pick, they immediately answered with players in roles that would have had the heaviest chance to be able to counter the Harith pick, which is... Oh, okay. I mean, they're going to go with the Linux.
Has been picked up. Let's go. That is
I'm wondering if that's not a bad call for the gold lane. When it comes to against Harith and what she provides to team fights, the only issue is we have no tower damage right here. Which means that the jungler is going to need to be something that is heavy auto attack based, something what I say, like a Bane, like a Julian, those are the immediate pickups that I would be thinking of here, because we don't have any of that physical damage to be able to kind of be pushing onto towers with.
I would surely agree with the Julian pick, but they just have too much magic right now. I don't think that would pick.
Yeah.
But the Bane is not a bad pick here. That is a lot of team fight there, especially with the Lu Yi ult. The combos are endless with that.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting. What do we go here for? Taking a little bit of time. It's the last pick. What do you go for here in your jungle? Maybe there's something comfort that NA's Last Hope likes to pick that might actually suit in here. I'm trying to think with the Ruby out there. The only thing too is like Ruby. Do we have? Well, I mean, the Linux actually does well into the Harith and Ruby, and got a Kacha surprisingly, just because of the of that percentage health damage that comes out. We're gonna go stick with the Alpha. Not a bad call, but into the Suyu, we'll see how well that works. The only thing too is early game, we've only got the Hylos to really kind of keep us up. A lot of this stuff is kind of a little bit scaling. I want to see this time from Night Horde. I need to see them helping each other, especially with these early buffs. I need to see Alpha better not be alone for that first buff. I want to see the entire team help him so that he can get around the map quickly. So that he's ganking at the same time that Area 77 is ganking. But Eon, we are here at the possible last game here for Area 77 taking on the Night Horde. Which draft are you liking?
I have been Night Horde's biggest fan so far, but Area 77 just has a better draft in mind for me. Area 77.
Traitor. He has turned on them. There's no hope. He said all hope is lost. It's game over, man.
At this point, and his last hope is Night Horde's last hope. Hopefully, we could see something amazing from this team. Both teams start at the same buff. They will meet bottom lane. Interesting clash to see. We have Gasso getting vision. We do see the CC overstay a little. Might miss a creep on there.
Absolutely missed a creep there. Stayed just a little too long. I would have liked to have maybe some, I guess, Yeah, Hylos actually went for the invade early. Ashira actually taken down very, very low. The damage coming up from BB is going to be enough. Ooh, Sky up there on the side. So, I mean, little bit of tip and tat there. Chinatsu is going to have to go back to base. And with that, maybe a little bit of pressure can be mounted by the side of Nighthorde. We saw them. They were very successful in the early game of the last one. It was just a small mistake that they made. Did he steal that? He's going to go in there, try to get there, but with that alpha charge, puts himself in harm's way.
At that point, you baited the flick here. I just feel like there's no need to go for the kill.
There really wasn't. I think he was just mad about that gold grab. She was mad about that gold grab. Decided to dive in there, try to get the kill, and the rest of the team right there waiting as she turned around. Unfortunate. You hate to see it, but it is part of the game.
That does not set him back too much for this first turtle, so we might see a contest. We do have Nolan out farming. He will go to his blue. So no one can start turtle yet.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit of 4. NA's last hope on to level 4. We do have 4 members already ready here. Shinatsu doing a good job in that pixel bush, trying to get that information. 4 members now mounting on the side of Area 77. Shinatsu trying to come in, looking for a little bit of aggro. Feathered Airstrike is out. They're going in for the damage. Ashira gets taken down first. Now trying to put the damage onto the rest of the team. Yin Yangs are connecting. The damage coming out from BB is going to have to flicker out of that Avatar of the Guardian, but Eureka on the other side folds up BB on the back end. That is a 4-1 kill lead for the side of Area 77. That's 5 right now. 4 kills leading, but 5-1 right now for Nighthorde. What an exchange.
Bluehogs did they get that shutdown on Nolan, which is a good goal lead for her. A good answer back. Not worth the trade, but at least they got something out of it.
Could have been worse is basically what it is. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
You could have wiped and they could have gone to base. Scar's actually doing all right down there at the bottom lane, actually matching up with the Harith and NA's last hope. They're looking to try to get something. Feathered Airstrike is out, chunking down. Oh, BB, the mage, able to pick up the turtle. I'm kind of wondering where the retribution was. And she still has her retribution. At some point, I would have been like, at least use the retribution to try to fake it like you used it. Like you used it during the turtle fight. But man, still holding on to it, saving for that summer house maybe is NA's last hope. Still got that retribution on them and allowing the pickup by BB for that first objective, the first turtle.
Yan does trade for Alpha's farm there. So not a good trade.
Oh, nice little diversion there to kind of try to pick up this Harith, and that might be it. Diving underneath the tower, they get it. But I want to say a little mistiming is because they don't have the minions just yet. I'm wondering if they might actually be able to pick up this tower. Maybe you go with a little bit of a darkening there, and then up at the top you can see there Yan actually using that as an opportunity to go start clearing out the jungle. I'm offended by Amoring picking up 3 members of the side of Nighthorde there and flickering away. I kind of feel like that I'm offended was unnecessary. If you're just gonna flicker away and it wasn't actually gonna result in a little bit of any type of fight coming from your team there. Still no tower pickups by either side just yet, and I want to say that's where the game really starts to kind of take its big effect, is when that macro starts hitting the map and you're actually starting to get some of these objectives as results.
Interesting.
Oh, Scarf. That is going to be a flicker down. His Yam was waiting for an opportunity to kind of go in there. Right now, Chinatsu kind of laying down some damage. NA's Last Hope looking for the angle onto this turtle as Yan goes ahead and starts it. Are we going to be in a good position? We do see that Scarf's coming back 50%. He is chunking down this turtle quickly, and they're not even going to have an answer. They're not even going to be able to respond to it because Chinatsu's on the back end there, immediately dives in to get the aggro from NA's Last Hope, and sitting at just over 1k gold lead at the 6-minute mark is Area 77.
Yan has just been a nuisance in Alpha's jungle so far. No one is punishing him. I don't know why though. They know he's gonna invade. Just set up and camp for him. That's a good shutdown. They do secure top here though.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're actually going to be able to get bottom too as a quick there at the bottom. She doesn't have any minions. So by the time the minions get down there, they're not even going to be able to get that potentially already. And Harith is going to be back at the tower. Looking at the mid, you see 3 members immediately kind of coming down there. It's Farja keeping up at the mid lane to kind of back off the rest of them. Oh, we do have a diversion out there. A mooring just going to go in there. it's just Asher. Ashira by herself just decides to take the easy route. Just didn't want to walk all the way down there. That's what it was. Hooves were tired.
Walks all the way back up though.
Oh, now NA's Last Hope focusing on to the purple buff, looking for an opportunity. It's still not out of the thirsty thought they had somebody in that bush, enough to use ultimate to feather airstrike 3 landing on, and look at the damage on there. Sky actually able to take down NA's Last Hope with that damage, and down goes BB as well, and a third down. Scarfs gets taken down by Eureka. Now they're going to go ahead, put the pressure onto this mid lane tower, maybe possibly looking for a second one. Mooring decides against it as Makora goes ahead and cleans up that lane.
That little dash in by Lunox, I feel like she could have just backed there. No need, your team has already fallen. You're not really going to make a big change against these level gaps that they have against them right now.
We're trying to see, and this is kind of my problem with the Lunox pick, is while it counters Harith, is not really having like this great effect during a lot of the fights right now, even getting pushed back to the point where they're not actually putting a lot of damage onto the towers. And you're not even going to be able to, even if you get minions, you're only going to be able to auto attack at a very slow rate unless you're using your darkening ultimate on Linux to try to take down that tower, which, I mean, I don't recommend it. And you can see here now, it's not a single tower for the side of Nighthorse. They do have the diversion out there, lay down the glorious pathway, but
no one gets away.
Yeah, the one person laid out the glorious pathway, Ashira, and NA's Last Hope and BB both turned around and went the other direction. Maybe just not clear communications kind of coming from them, as Eureka does find himself a tower up at top.
The synergy just seems to be off with Nighthorse tonight.
Yeah, and 5 members down at mid. Right now, the noose is getting tighter and tighter around the side of Night Horror. They need to be able to kind of do something here. I want to say this is right now on the back of Lu Yi, and it shouldn't be. But, I mean, we need a great diversion with the entirety of the team. And the thing here is that diversion just went off, and it was just to check. And I'm kind of disappointed with that. I want to see offensive diversions with your entire team. Your entire team, when you use diversion, your entire team should be ready to go to that point, especially because there was nobody in that bush. You could have brought the entire team in there, but she used it just to kind of check by itself. And it just, I don't know, it's kind of a waste of a Lu Yi if you're not going to be able to kind of like really utilize all of that to kind of surprise the enemies.
I do agree, but what can she use it for on the first Lord? I feel like they should just wait for the second Lord to make a really risky play. They are down by a lot, but if they get the Lord and some gold off the minions, that could be a comeback for them.
Well, they're down by about 4K right now. My problem is as we kind of move on, they're going to be down by more. It's not going to be 4K anymore. It's going to be possibly like 5 or 6K that they're down for. And you just use that diversion. As soon as that diversion went out, the enemy immediately decided to go for the Lord because they knew they weren't going to have to be checking any bushes because she doesn't have diversion anymore. It's just the threat of having it and how you utilize it. And I feel like any further diversions with a team are now going to be they're going to be kind of thrown out there while the team is at even more of a deficit than they were at I want to say 1 minute ago.
Feather Airstrike comes out just to secure the mid turret.
Yeah, I mean, and then that's kind of the value you get, and why Farge has been had a very high pick rate right now. You start going into the towers, feathered airstrike there just to put down suppressive fire is going to back off the entire enemy team while you're just raining down damage from a great range. You see Sky trying to get more range out there, looking like they're trying to get another. It already has the feathered airstrike back up as well. So I mean,
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Eureka is doing a great job. 2, 2, and 4 right now. And that, onto the back line. Feather Airstrike comes out. Scarfs is going to have to use that brilliance to get away. NA's last hope gets caught in the middle and taken down. And down goes the Zaman Force. Eureka dashing in and out, throwing down the damage. And Ashira gets taken out. Sky finds a kill. Eureka finds another one. That is 3 down. This might be the close that Area 77 is looking for, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a clean sweep for Area 77 in the Night Horde Women's Tournament. Hopefully, unless they get your brooms out. I don't know if this is going to a game 7. I was told we were kind of pushing this down to a game 5 just because of time constraints.
I guess we will see. They are readied up. It looks like game 7. I don't know though. Where's Juki? Where's the man in need?
A draft difference? It did. I feel like the draft had a little bit of an effect on it, but it does also feel like there was a little bit. It also kind of came down to some of the rotations as well. Some of the decision making. That alpha charge into the Harith at the opening, there was no need. It was unneeded, unnecessary, and emotion filled was that first ultimate, and missed the Harith. Harith backed up, and then the enemy team just bamboozled him from behind. So
they might be able to swap out a player. It looks like a game 7, a best of 7. Swapping out to maybe.
I said team micro and macro difference.
I think it's just the synergy. The Night Horde I saw last night were playing together. This Night Horde is just not. They're not syncing up.
Do we see the same? Everybody in the same positions?
Scar's back. I do not get the point of leaving and joining. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi connection thing going on. But like you said, yeah, the Alpha did choke their lead. Once you have like the clear, safest lead with the Alpha, you do not want to press anything until the first objective.
It looks like they're ready. They're going to go for this game 7. Screw it. You can only go up from here, right?
One side, you just get the other brooms out. The other side, do you believe in miracles? Do you think Night Horde can come back?
It is a best of 7. Tyrant said at the beginning. Yeah, but he's told us a best of 5 as well when we were in the chat like 2 minutes before we started stream. So, I mean, I don't care. As long as we start it now. Like, they're all ready.
For all the Night Horde fans, do you believe in dreams? Can they come back?
30-minute break first? No. No, sir. Yeah, No, we already had both Suyu banned out here as well. That Harith, the gold lane has been the biggest problem. I want to say for Nighthorde right now is that they cannot, if they get the bans, they are not. I don't know what Scarfs plays on the side of Nighthorde, what the pool is like for them, but I feel like if they were able to prio marksman lane, they would have already.
Eureka has been shining though.
Yeah, and that's kind of an issue too, especially on some great heroes, the Harith, which kind of got matched up with a Linux that I mean wasn't going to have that great of an effect until the mid to late game. There's certain check marks that need to happen for a composition to be successful because of the composition. Like you could be successful for other reasons, just because like a skill difference, you know what I mean, or all these other things. But if you're going to be successful because of the comp, you need to have some. You need to have, well, first of all, physical and magic damage. You need to have early game and late game. You need to have CC. I think I'm forgetting something there, and tankiness. The problem is if you, those are like the basics of composition. If we're not diving into like these advanced stats for like these cheesy compositions, those are the basics for it. And if you remove one of those, it's going to be this glaring hole that needs to be made up for because of this just overpowering wombo combo synergy that you have with these characters that you have. So like when you forget some of that stuff, like here we forgot physical, we didn't really have a great source of physical damage, so we weren't going to be able to put like that. I think that was the lowest towers. I don't think they got a single tower out of that out of that last game, so which showed because they didn't really have any great physical damage coming out from their side. More than that, they also didn't really have any great early game to be able to kind of offend some of the picks that they had there as well. Harith taken off the board. Looks like Nighthorde might be looking to pick up the Granger. I can't remember, did they pick up Granger on the second game?
I do believe so. I know both teams had Granger before. Just Nighthorde could not scale with it correctly.
No, you know what? Second game, they prioritized Suyu, and Area 77 picked up Granger as their first pick with, I forgot who they matched it with, but I don't think they've actually ever gotten the Granger.
First game, did they not?
First game, it was Area 77 with the first pick, and they picked Granger as the first pick. So I'm wondering, you got to pick up Granger. Granger's been a big problem unless you don't play it. If they don't, I was about to say, if they don't pick up Granger, it's going to answer my question that they don't play it, which would be an issue.
I thought we were going to see a Fanny. I am not going to lie, I was kind of excited.
I mean, I feel like Fanny, especially at that stage, especially when we're talking about community tournaments, Fanny, it takes an amazing amount of skill to just be average on a Fanny. And it's kind of like, why waste that energy when you could take that same amount of skill and be great on any other type of assassin, you know what I mean? Instead of like it's sweating, putting pools of sweat underneath you to play a Fanny and just be good, or you could be like amazing on a Hayabusa or amazing on a Ling. It just True. And then there's a lot of great counters for a Fanny too right now.
Well, you know what they say about Fanny mans.
What do they say about Fanny mans?
I don't know. I'm not a fan.
That was a question. I actually didn't know.
The Hyla and Gato have been picked up. Hylos. We have been seeing Hylos a lot, but I don't know about the effectiveness it has had so far.
For Hylos, I would rather see a Hilda. I would rather see a Hilda immediately picked up in the XP lane. That's going to be a great counter for the Hayabusa. The only problem is that they have a Gatakacha, which is going to be a great front line to try to get that aggro off of the Hayabusa from the Hilda. So that would be very interesting. Oh. I actually am very curious to see how they deal. Yeah, how they deal with the Granger, but they're going to go with one of the immediate counters of it. Now, the one thing too is I'm hoping that Night Horde picked up the Granger because they know how to use the Granger, and this was part of the plan, and it wasn't one of these we need to take away the Granger from the enemy, because especially when it comes to trying to take a pick away from the enemy, sometimes that works against you because, first of all, now you've got a pick that you're not great on, and you've got a pick that the enemy understands like crazily. And we already know Eureka has been great on that Granger, so she definitely understands how it works and where some of the weaknesses could possibly be, and immediately picks up there wasn't even like any hesitation there. What?
Has Night Horde thrown in a white apple? Is this?
I'm sitting here trying to break this down analytically, and then we see a Layla man, and I'm just like, all right.
Maybe it's part of the script. The one thing that confuses me is the Kagura pick. Also, have not seen that much. The Bedang has been picked out. I've seen him a lot in RG. Very good at building tank, which I did not expect at first when I first saw it.
Layla Nana band. I think at this point, Night Horde is just kind of they're just like, let's do this. Let's rock on, baby. We're gonna see what we can do here. Bedang is out there. Cyclops, screw it. Why? Why not? That's the question. Why not?
Seems like they're testing something.
I would rather see Cyclops as the jungler, honestly, just because Kagura. If you think Cyclops is slow at jungling, you ain't never seen a Kagura with that cooldown on that umbrella try to jungle. Ooh, we even got the little Yoda skin. Oh, that's because this is a tournament lobby. Never mind. I was about to say we got some rich people in the lobby, but yeah, it's a tournament lobby, so they got all the skins. Cheaters.
Night Horde knows something we don't, maybe.
So this is going to be game point for Area 77, and I want to say this honestly kind of puts the pressure onto Area 77. I think there's more pressure on them not to lose to this composition than there is on Night Horde to win this, because they're just like, whatever.
Oh, it says in the comments they're redrafting. Interesting.
All right.
Because we gotta restart the draft.
Is it a restart?
That's what Juki just said in the comments. We are redrafting.
Son of a bit. I say we go with this. Okay, so something happened then with the draft.
Very intense.
Yeah. Right down to the wire that one was. And
Gato with the MVP carrying 4 chocolates. Love to see it. Was something a misclick? Like, at what point do they? Because they already saw Area 77's draft. I don't think Area 77 knew they were redrafting.
Did they? After the Layla man, I think that kind of just signifies to most people that there's going to be a same bands and same 3 picks.
Okay. So everything until the very end. The fact that I actually thought this was a Night Horde draft. Do not doubt, Night Horde is still in this. Guess we just chill until the final draft.
real nail biter for these first 3 bans, since we already know what's going to happen.
Nighthorde just needs to synergize this last game.
I mean, they didn't have a bad game on their second game. They had the Suyu priority, even though there was a Granger on the enemy team. It's just, it was the decision making that was the problem. That draft was actually great, and they actually had a very dominant early game. It was just that they decided to continue the fight after a turtle into enemy territory against a Ruby, dropped 2 members there, and then ever since that, Area 77 had the lead and just continued to push on. So I feel like they don't need to go, they don't need to completely erase the entire battle plan after every loss. They just have to, part of being a decent team and improving is actually understanding why that loss occurred rather than clearing the entire board.
Nighthorde just has to pull through 1 game to not get swept. Haya, Granger, Gatso.
I believe the first 3 picks are going to be exactly the same, and then it's going to be those last 2. Was it the bans or what?
The Val.
They didn't.
Was Val
Did they
always
pick
there?
Valentine?
Can someone confirm that they picked Val? Because I swear I did not see a Val.
There wasn't a Val. There was something else, or maybe that's where the issue was.
A misclick? I guess we'll see. Me personally, I feel like this is cheating.
Who was the last pick? What was the last? I think Hylos was this. I thought Hylos was the second pick.
There was a Hylos and I forget. Let me recheck.
It was
Kagura.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Kagura was the mess up pick.
First time we saw her and we forgot her. That is crazy.
Yeah, and I think, and that's because it was because it was so forgettable. It's like a Kagura. Okay, what are you planning to do here? Because Kagura is just not it. So yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
They do ban the alpha here to keep it the same. What jungler do you think they will go? The alpha is not working. The Suyu is banned. We need to see something new, something fresh, something more impactful. And his last hope just needs to pull out something out of the bag that we have not seen yet.
I mean, it doesn't need to be brand new. It just needs to be something that's going to be successful here. The obvious things are a fighter to go against, but we've already seen that they haven't really done really great on the alpha, which is going to be the fighter I would go with. Suyu's already banned out here as well. Fighters are the only thing that really kind of match up the pace of that can go beyond the pace of an assassin here. But I want to say Hayabusa actually kind of comes online very quickly once he gets those quad shadows and can do a decent amount of damage, especially in the early game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a Julian would counter a Haya nicely. The right amount CC can dodge his ult with his second combo.
That actually isn't a bad idea. The only problem is we're going to need to have some type of protection, some type of peeling ability for Julian, just because, man, you need to be a great Julian. Just because of the immense amount of CC. You're going to have an Avatar the Guardian coming down. And you're just so squishy as a Julian. It's not bad. I don't hate the thought of a Julian here. I just want it matched up with something else, maybe a little bit more CC to help protect him. Got Akacha's out there. I'm trying to think what else we could use. Fredrin. Ugh.
Oh
We're
man.
looking for some damage here. We desperately need. Okay, that'll work. Like I said, I am not a huge. I'm not a huge fan of Fredrin. I know he has his place when going up against a Joy or something like that, but on his own, we already see. One thing though, bro, I swear to God, I need to see. What are we on blue side? I need to see. I need to see the side lane. I need to see the mage, and I need to see the roam helping out poor Fredrin with his slowest in NA clearing speed of that first minion or of that first buff. Because I mean, we saw it last time. Area 77 was already invading jungle by the time Fredrin had finished getting their first buff, and that's going to be a big issue here. And Hilda picked up too as well. It's going to be a big problem for that team.
They do have a Hylos to help the Fredrin clear any creep at the early game. Either start on his blue or start his red before. I've seen that happen in RG. It's kind of more useful. I don't know about right now though. Benny just has to help clear without getting taxed again. What draft
All
are you
right.
winning?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Area 77 here. They've just got the obvious win conditions. I like the Granger though. We'll see how well. I mean, if we can sustain, if we don't have the problems that we had with game one, where Fredrin was just like a minute behind all of the rotations of Area 77, if we can keep it even, if we can get ourselves into mid game, if we can protect Granger, I think that actually might be a decent answer. Like, look at the difference in teams up on the mini map. All four members just got away from that buff there, helping Hayabusa with that. Okay,
Another pause.
that was Valentina, I believe, was hanging out in the back.
AFK maybe, Wi-Fi.
That toaster Wi-Fi.
This is the final game, guys, and we're bugging. I'm leaning towards, I would say Area 77, but gotta believe in Nighthorn. Hope they pull through. This is already a rough start. Haven't even started clearing this blue. I do say though, with the Gato and Hilda, I feel like Area 77 have more prio over the turtle than Nighthorn.
They can hold it longer, that's for sure. But the same thing could have been said with the Suyu as well. It's just that Fredrin was never in any of those fights. He was still trying to clear out his jungle by the time all of those objective fights happened. So like that was my biggest critique of it, and that's where it really needs to kind of pick up here. I feel like Fredrin is probably a comfort pick for the jungler, for the jungler of Nighthorde. I don't know. We'll see how well it kind of comes in here.
Hopefully they execute everything perfectly. Do not want to see Nighthorn.
They said perfectly. Hopefully they execute everything perfect without any errors, not a single one. Perfection, like a diamond.
I want to see them
not a single issue from the team.
But issues already have occurred. Blue has been finished by the Haya. Game has started. Fredrin's still on that blue. Just a little farming difference already. He is stuck on that blue, man.
and this is, and it's not even BB's. It's not even the lag from BB that can be blamed here, because we saw right from the beginning, all like 4 members of Area 77 joined them for that
He knows he doesn't have red free, so he's going in for the invade. Smart, knowing that he's going to be really delayed.
Oh, Sky getting that information now. And already starting with the invade down at the bottom. Granger actually might be in a little bit of trouble. You're going to have that level 4. Ooh. Almost have that level 4. He's going to go in looking for something here. He doesn't have that level 4, and that's lucky for Scarf, because I feel like if he had the shadow kill, he definitely would have quad shadowed in the Scarf and use that shadow kill to take out the Granger very early. But now we're gonna go ahead and rotate all the way back to top, try to get some hands onto this turtle. Or is he gonna be looking for that purple buff? Nope, looks like he's gonna go for the turtle.
The first contest, the first turtle. Both junglers are level 4, surprisingly. Though Retri has come. That is giving first turtle.
Is there no sound? Am I crazy?
There is, I think.
Ooh, big AOV there. Shinatsu does find a kill onto the Roma. Shira actually goes down there. BB goes in. I believe that was the IMU AOV, but now being chased down and gunned down in the middle of the lane. That is 2 down for the side of Night Horde. Area 77 just having a field day.
Eureka already making her mark.
Yeah, and right now it does go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting on. I mean, Granger still hasn't taken a death yet. Trying to do the best here, but it's still kind of evened out. I want to say having a decent, a better time at least in the lane right now. Chinatsu. I mean, a better time as I see them all starting to kind of hound down here. Look at the protection that needs to go into. That's just how, because of how slow Fredrin is when it comes to kind of getting his lane, you see the whole rest of the team needs to kind of come in, get protection. Even a BB comes in there. Ashira has to be there in front of there to kind of make sure that they're not invading. And that's just kind of the problem with the Fredrin, and when you don't have any more damage on the other side there. We're really, really leaning into this late game for these guys. And hoping that we can make it there. Makora goes in there. Big pop-up does land. Quad Shadows is out. Here comes the glorious pathway with the shadow kill does catch Makora on the back end. And on the edge of that dawning light. And Amoriing actually able to get out of harm's way. Just a Hilda doing Hilda things as now Night Horde loses their purple buff.
Second turtle will be up. I feel like they just gotta force the contest.
I mean, forcing it right now isn't NA's last hope missed that first strike onto the jungle minion. Oh, did he lose that too? It's just, it never ends. The Chinatsu goes in, does get a little bit of aggro onto Ash, who might be taking a heap of damage. Shadow kill does land on him. Hylo's looking for the escape, gets taken out by Shurikens of the Hayabusa. And right now, Yan just having a heck of a time is going to go ahead and start on this turtle while the team goes ahead and engages in this fight. BB actually in a little bit of trouble. Avatar of the Guardian is down, but the IMU is not going to be enough to save him as Chinatsu takes him down for daring to use his own ultimate against him.
This is not looking too bright for the side of Night Horde.
Yeah, and then you're already starting to kind of get, ooh, Granger actually might be in trouble here. He's going to use that flicker and a dash to get himself out. We do have the Revitalize on Ashira has been activated, but man, they're already taking this. Why even go in there? There's nobody with you. Actually able to get out of there. But like, what did you gain from that? What even was the best scenario there that you were going to be able to give your team vision as they took the buff, or like it's just a frustration that kind of comes out of them once you're behind, especially 8-0 at the 6-minute mark, starting to mount a 4K gold lead for the side of Area 77.
Stat padding damage, I guess.
Ooh, a little bit of a pop-up does land onto Chinatsu. The only problem here is NA's Last Hope right now still starting to fall very far behind. A level 8, level 9, only about a 1 level difference, but I'm imagining the gold is a little bit higher than that. Kind of hoping for this Granger. At this point, I'd almost be at the point where I would stop farming too much on the Fredrin, try to assist Granger, get him to the lanes, clear the lane, get him to the jungle, start clearing out that, because we really need to start getting the damage up here, because we're starting to fall so far behind that we're falling out of even team fights.
And did we have an
here? Yeah, we have an engagement. We do have the Avatar of the Guardian landing down, does not catch anybody. Every single time an Avatar of the Guardian goes out with nothing to initiate it, God kills a kitten. This you hate to see it, because it's the most dodged ability out there. Ooh, BB and gets taken out by Amor on that Hilda under the tower too. Nowhere is safe. It is 0-10 right now. A 6K gold lead mounting for Area 77.
The thing is here, do you get the turtle or do you wait for the Lord? They are waiting for the Lord. They want to close out early.
Oh, we'll see here now. There's at this point, there's not much you could do. This is kind of what I was afraid was going to happen when I first saw the Fredrin pickup, is because they just had such a problem being able to kind of get even through the rotations. They were always kind of responding. Here, a big shadow kill going on there. Scarf almost gets taken out as well. That almost was game over for them. Are they even going to go? Are they going to go for the Lord? Or are they going to wait until the 12-minute mark? Look at Chinatsu. He's just diving underneath the tower as the rest of them go ahead and focus down. Quad shadows come in. Shira, almost takes a whole face full of those shurikens, and now they go ahead and focus on the Lord. There's only high ground towers left at the 8-minute mark for the side of Night Horde.
They will pick up the Lord here. Jesus. Would it be endable with this Lord?
Will it be endable? I feel like with the way that this is going, at the very least, Area 77 will be able to get all of the high grounds down with it. You're going to see them. Oh, actually, I want to say this is a little bit more lackadaisical than I usually see them. I'd like to. Oh, because they don't have the Lord yet, so they're keeping the lanes open. They're freezing the lanes. They're not touching anything from it. When the Lord comes out, I think that's when we're going to start seeing these guys actually split up and try to start pushing these lanes so that they all start crashing down at the same time. And this is the thing too, is it's all these little things that they do. Yeah, they're up at top, they're pushing down the lane now. You're gonna have some people down at the bottom start pushing, as the Lord is already, he's gonna be able to push his own lane and have all of the minions crashing at the same time. It's all of these little things that Area 77 does that seem naturally even like the little thing like helping out Hayabusa get the first buff as well, and in the opening seconds of the game. Ashira blown off the map. A Dawning Light comes out with a shadow kill, able to take him down. Avatar of the Guardian does land onto the mid tower. A Maring does take down NA's Last Hope, but cost them their own life. We do have the heavy crossbow out. Eureka finds a kill onto Mahora, and that might be it. That is a clean sweep. I hope that I said that last time, but this for reals this time. That is a clean sweep for Area 77 against the Night Horde, and it's unfortunate that Night Horde not able to really find their space here in this match just yet, or in this series, or in this tournament. From what I've told by you, they had some great games. It's just that Area 77 is just too well put together and had some pretty good drafts, and there was just a lot of falters that I feel came out from the Night Horde. where it felt like they were able to really kind of just win through attrition in some of their other games. Here, when it comes to skill and finding a great composition, Area 77 was just too much for them.
Do agree. Every time Nighthorde showed life, Area 77 always had an answer for it, and just stayed more disciplined than Nighthorde. Hate to see a sweep, especially on your team, but that's game.
So hats off to the winners there, Area 77. Great games played by there. Felt very natural, and they did a good job. They did the big things too is that they were able to kind of close down, especially towards the late games, able to kind of shut things down where I felt I talked about it before. Sometimes some of the female teams have a couple of issues. They start those little cracks start to show when it gets to the actual pushing onto the core, and it feels like they cleaned that up very naturally here and found some great closures to a lot of these games without having them go on too long or getting those answers back. As soon as they got the momentum on their side, as soon as they got the advantage, they were pretty much steamrolling through.
I do agree. One-sided tournament games are just such a letdown. I was expecting so much more from Nighthorde. Maybe in the future we'll see more of them. Hopefully, just wasn't their time yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it kind of comes down to. I feel like sometimes when it comes to teams, when I see things like this, it kind of comes down to somebody being on jungle who isn't usually on jungle, and they take it anyway to try to help out the team. It comes to having stable members in stable positions. Once you get that going and you have those 5 stable members, then it starts coming down to hero pool and making sure that you're actually great on those heroes that are part of the meta. And then after that, it starts coming down to drafting. There's just these little steps that need to come by. And if you're still at step 1 of trying to get those stable members, it can be a little hard to kind of get by. But I mean, there's a huge and brewing community on the community side of this. So hats off Nighthorde and to Tyrant for hosting this for them. Hide Underbush, thank you so much. Thanks for the casting. I appreciate you guys appreciating me. But yeah, that is going to be it. Is there anything Tyrant wants put out there?
Think so. I think maybe he will announce the next tournament coming up, but I think that's in the server.
He already put the congratulations post out there. All right. All right, guys. Private, I'm gonna DM you something real quick. Guys, I want to thank you guys all for coming out here. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Eon for helping me out with the cast, so it wasn't just me kind of out here blathering alone. Like I said, if you guys don't know me, actually, first of all, Eon, do you have any socials, anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I got Instagram. It's OOH.Eon, and then my YouTube, MOBA Eon1. Yeah.
MOBA Eon1.
Yeah. I'm not the greatest player to watch, but still learning. Just started. And that is all. Thank you, Private Dancer, for casting. And
yeah, no problem. Even though it was kind of a lackadaisical cast, I'm not gonna lie. I just got done with the Snapdragon this morning and this evening, and then yeah, so I told Tyrant I would help out with this, so I did. And then I wasn't expecting to have to host this, so please bear with the kind of scene changes and everything. But I really appreciate you guys coming out. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Fridays are giveaways, and we do have a point system, so you do have to kind of watch to kind of earn those tickets for all of that. I talked about this a little bit before, guys. Explanation point save Ritz. She is one of the cosplayers for NACT. She's been a huge community member for a lot of streams on the YouTube, even a manager for the Gosu side. She unfortunately, her family lost their house for the California wildfires. If you press exclamation point save Ritz, you will find some the links to the. Let me throw it out there. Oh, thank you, Zane. I appreciate that. You'll find the links to the GoFundMe for them. If you guys can give anything, it would be great. It's not mandatory, or even like send a little bit of well wishes to Ritz to let her know that she's in your thoughts. Like I said, the wildfires affected a lot of people, even some of those that are close and near and dear to us. Ritz has been a great friend and a huge community member when it comes to North America and a Mobile Legends community. That's going to be doing it for me. I will see most of you guys again on a Monday when I stream. If you guys want any more information, exclamation point Discord on the YouTube. And yeah, I will see most of you guys later. Exclamation point Discord if you guys want to join the community. We have videos out on the channel. You can check them out on your way out. Even some shorts that will be coming. The shorts are going to be starting up again next week. I'm really excited about them. I've been working on them myself. So